The New York Islanders locked up two college free agents starting the 23-24 season, Aidan Flup and Travis Mitchell. We already spoke about Flup, but we haven't spoken about Travis Mitchell. So who is he and what do we need to know about him? Today, the New York Islanders announced that they had signed Aidan Flup and Travis Mitchell to entry-level contracts effective the 2023-2024 season. Now, as it stands now, there's no ATOs or PTOs attached to that either, so they're just going to sit and wait until next year before they start playing within the Islanders organizational system. So we've spoken about Aidan Flup before, but we haven't spoken about Travis Mitchell, mainly because we didn't know that they were interested in him. So what do we need to know about Travis Mitchell? Well, let's just start from the basics, right? This best place to start, looking at his shot. He's a left-handed shot. He's 6'3", 201 pounds. So about the same size as Aidan Flup. When you look at the production at the NCAA level, he's got 12, 16, 19 points. It gets a little bit better year over year. Some other things to know about him is that he attended Bruins training camp in 2021. They liked what they saw out of him. Obviously, he was still committed to college, so there was no signing or anything of the sorts. He is a finalist for the ECAC Defensive Defenseman of the Year, so foreshadowing to when we talk about his style of play there. And he's also a finalist for the ECAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. So this guy is well respected within the ECAC at the very least. When it comes to NHLE, which is something I like to look at, although he is a defensive defenseman, so take this with kind of a grain of salt, the numbers are low, right? You look at the NHLE here, and there's nothing more than 8.8 that he received this year, putting up 19 points in 34 games for Cornell. Okay. But again, we know he's not an offensive defenseman. He's a defensive defenseman. The impact of his game is going to be more felt at the defensive end of the ice and less in the offensive end of the ice. But we have to know that he's still putting up points, even though he's a defensive defenseman. He's still putting up points at the NCAA level, right? So if we go 19 over 34, let me bring the calculator, you can see my math. 19 over 34, he's still producing over half a point per game at the NCAA level as a shutdown defenseman. If you're looking at Adam Pelech putting up half point per game, of course, at the NHL, so it's not the same, but just, bear with me for the thought experiment. If Adam Pelech is putting up half a point per game, that is excellent, which is why this guy is well regarded in terms of being a defensive defenseman. When it comes to style of play, there's not a whole lot of video associated to a defensive defenseman. Defensive plays just aren't that sexy.
Puck comes out to McDonough, has the game on his stick. Oh, what a block in front by Pollock. The Islanders win game 4.
And so people don't scrape the video for it. But when you consider how many accolades he's getting for his play as a defensive defenseman, he's doing a pretty darn good job of it. The videos that I do have, what I found from them is that this guy likes to pinch in offensively, which could be a problem depending on certain situations. If he doesn't do it well or at the right time, obviously odd man rush going the other way and a defensive defenseman is stuck in no man's land. But he seems to make it work, at least at the NCAA level. I've got a few highlights here that I've stitched together as I'm talking, and you can see him pinching in and getting in on offensive opportunities and scoring a few of them. So this guy has, I'm not going to say nose for the net, but isn't scared of getting up in the play. Wow, those are the words. Getting up in the play offensively, even though that's not his role. And that could translate to the pro levels, but I would like to see him use that seldomly when it gets to the pros, because he's going to be burned more often than not at the higher levels here. At the end of the day, how excited are we that Travis Mitchell is part of the New York Islanders organization? I'll give it like 5.5 out of 10. And that's no disrespect to him. It's hard to get all jazzed up about a defensive defenseman. What I am excited about and why it's just over the exact 50 is that I'm excited to see what the New York Islanders saw in this player that they needed to bring into the organization. We'll see if this guy becomes a solid pro and maybe even an NHLer. So that's what I'm excited for, what the potential is in this guy. What did the Islanders see in this player? We'll see that over the next couple of years. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. And if you have, thank you, thank you, thank you.